I'm just going to hit record whenever you guys are ready. I'll just start.
Okay.
So thanks for coming on and letting me interview you guys, Carl and Stac'ey Volden.
Sure, Justin.
Our pleasure.
I really appreciate it. I know this is kind of weird, me holding the phone here, looking at you guys, but if we could just, kind of have a conversation, that'd be great.
Okay.
So I wanted to kind of get you guys' life stories. Yeah, okay, that sounds a bit big, but more or less, just kind of, I wanted to talk to you about your experience with marketing this education and also in real estate investing, and kind of see if we can distill some principles that you've learned so that other people who are like yourselves, or even like me, or people who are just starting out, they can find something that they can use and take that next step.
Okay.
But I don't know. I kind of want to just briefly ask a first question. It's kind of random, but how did you two meet?
We met online.
Yeah?
It's been 19 and a half years ago, roughly.
Cool.
I'd been previously married. I was single at the time and trying to figure out I couldn't say middle-aged, okay, so I was 39. So how does a 39-year-old go about finding somebody
Right.
that, while I have kids living with me to date, where do you go?
Right.
And I don't do bars or drinking. And
For sure.
somebody suggested online. So I went and checked that out. It seemed pretty safe.
Okay.
Right? If you didn't reach out, nobody responded.
For sure.
And it's interesting because that's kind of the same way it is with marketing and real estate investing.
That's super interesting. I like that.
Well, and it was great for me because that was back before online dating or meeting was really popular, and there were a whole lot more guys that were into computers than there were girls.
Okay.
So it was like on this particular site that was
There were 63,331. Well, that's Stacey's ID number, 63,331.
oh, I didn't know that.
And mine is 3661, something like that.
Wow.
So it was like significant ratio,
Definitely.
lopsided ratio.
Yeah.
So I was desperate. No, I wasn't. I was very fortunate and blessed.
I don't know that those numbers relate to anything because there were 2,000 guys there were 2,000 ladies and there were 8,000 guys.
Anyway, still,
Those are good odds, right?
The odds were not in my favor.
I would come home and
But you still came out a winner, right?
Most definitely.
I came home and there'd be 50 people and my guys and it was like, yeah. Oh, maybe. Oh, there's a story to tell.
Right.
And there was.
And I'd come home and the emails that I would look at say rejected.
Oh. So you kind of had opposite experiences there. That's nice.
So it was a good way. For us, it was good.
That's awesome.
Of course, I was careful.
Yeah? Okay. Let's go ahead and shift gears. And how did you guys first become interested in real estate investing?
Shortly after we were married, it's okay, what are we going to do now?
Okay.
What are we going to do for retirement? I had nothing.
Oh.
Stacey didn't have anything. And my dad had done real estate investing when I was growing up,
Really?
off and on. He fixed and flipped apartments.
No way.
3 or 4 unit type things back
Kind of
in the
small
Midwest.
things. Yeah.
And so I said, well, why not real estate investing?
Wow.
Well, and I'd worked for a boot camp company where we
Okay.
did marketing and we did investing, and so I got introduced to that real estate side of things.
Right.
And whereas we didn't have the usual time period for 401ks, real estate seemed to be able to, with the right education, give you a wonderful return on your money when you had the proper knowledge. But you had to be careful where you got the knowledge. And so being that we developed week-long boot camps where people would come from all over the United States to go to our investing and marketing entrepreneurial boot camps, I knew what to look for as far as education and how to put the program together correctly.
Okay, so both of you said things I kind of want to unpack. Carl, you said your dad got into real estate. I don't know if you even know this, but what got him interested in real estate in the first place?
Well, when I was really little, I remember him being a realtor.
Okay.
And we would go with him on Saturdays to the open houses. And I think he saw it as a way to create retirement, create wealth.
Uh-huh.
He was in the Navy, so that was his part-time job, part-time gig.
Okay.
And my dad sold pots and pans. He sold knives. And
Just did everything.
He did everything to make some extra money.
Right.
And the one that he seemed to stick with was real estate as an agent. So he did that when we lived in California.
Uh-huh.
And then when we moved back to Wisconsin after he retired, he got his realtor's license, and then he went further and got his broker's license.
Okay.
And then he started buying, they called them flats, sort of 3-story, 4-story buildings, just single units on each floor.
Uh-huh.
And he started buying those and rehabbing those and holding some, renting them out, and then flipping the others.
Wow.
And did that for a few years, and then he decided to move to Florida. That was after I was married. And,
Uh-huh.
so he moved to Florida, and that's pretty much all he did the rest of his days.
Wow.
Until he really retired. He would just do one fix and flip after another.
Wow.
Some he would move in and live in it while he fixed it up. Others he would just do one at a time. And so he still lived paycheck to paycheck, because what he made on that job
Uh-huh.
had to last him until he got the next one completed.
That makes sense.
So with the right education, we want to be going 3 or 4 at a time.
Okay.
Our goal is to get into multi-units,
Right.
apartments. Right? The more doors, the more the cash flow.
For sure.
Right? So we have some numbers that we're looking to achieve this year and the coming years. And it's, again, with the right education, the right networking.
That's awesome.
It's very doable. So we're excited.
That is so cool. I love that. Okay, now back to the question I wanted to ask Stacey. You said because of your background in participating in those week-long boot camp seminars and things like that, you knew what to look for and what not to look for. Can you just tell us some of the things that people should avoid when looking for real estate investing education?
Companies that come to town for the weekend. They share a little bit, or they share enough to get you interested and intrigued, and you bite, and then you realize as you go through it that it's only gets you 3/4 of the way to the goal line.
Oh, I see.
And then they come in and they say, then to get to the goal line, you've got to buy this. So you chunk it all the way. Some people chunk all the way up to $100,000.
I see.
And they haven't yet pulled the trigger on one property.
Oh my gosh.
Well, this year we're going to pull the trigger on 30 properties. That's the name of our company, 30 Doors.
Wow.
And then because of the education that we have, we are able to pay those off in the next 3 to 7 years, and then that will be, each door represents $1,000. So that'll be a nice income for us, $30,000 a month. So $10 to live on, 10 to invest with, because there'll always be something to invest in, and then $10,000 to give away. Carl worked for a company in the software industry, in the software department, and this Mr. O.C. Tanner, he was a philanthropist, and he would go in every month to his accountant and he'd say, okay, how much do you have to give? How much can I give?
What's our givability?
Wow.
And then he would give that's the amount he would give, and I just thought, wow, that always stuck with me, and we decided that would just be great. And with $10,000 a month, you can help a lot of entrepreneurs just kind of get started, or single moms who just need some tuition money or some medical money, or you can that $10,000 can help a lot of lives, who then will help another lives, and you've started a terrific ripple effect. So education in the right area, and we love real estate because people always have to have a place to live.
Right.
So by providing people with a good place to live that's clean and that's safe, and we're going for modest. We're not the Nordstrom neighborhood. We're Walmart and Target, so that's where our market is, and that's the kind of housing that we will be providing, because that's really where the masses are. So you can have the most success, I believe, in that area.
That is so cool. I love the story, the one you just mentioned about, what was it, Mr. Oaksey?
Oh, O.C. Tanner.
O.C. Tanner.
O.C. Tanner.
Mm-hmm. And he would just give money away to...
He was a philanthropist, and his company makes jewelry.
Okay.
In fact, they made the jewelry for Renatus.
Whoa.
The pins, and they make the Olympic. They're a company that makes the Olympic medals.
Okay.
And the Olympic the rings.
The rings.
The big huge rings, and so they are a recognition company, and they've been around since the early 1900s.
Wow.
And Obert has passed on. That the company still thrives, is in Salt Lake City.
That's so cool.
It's about recognition, and that's what, by giving away, we can recognize people's efforts
Yeah.
and validate them, and they produce good things then. Because we do a lot more for appreciation and
For sure.
praise than we really do for monetary.
For sure. And do you mind if I ask, why is that?
What is what? I'm sorry.
Why is it that you guys, and maybe
Why
this is,
why do we want?
yeah, why do you guys want to give?
Why not?
It's a good question.
If I have what I need, provide for my family, why can't? Isn't that what we're supposed to do?
For sure.
Because we can, and
It's,
when you help somebody up when they are feeling down, it's just a vote of confidence. Like, there's hope,
Uh-huh.
and I believe in hope. I've been the benefactor of hope.
I love
so
that.
when you boil it all down, it's not about me. It's not about my sweetheart. It's about what we can do and how we can serve others. So we'll go out and we're going to work hard, and we're going to create a comfortable living and a lifestyle for ourselves and our family. And then we're going to look around and say, now who can we serve? Now who can we help? Shouldn't everybody have abundance?
Wow. What a way to live. That's awesome.
We live in America, and we can, and because we can, in America you can. People are still wanting to come here,
Yeah.
give everything away, come here with pennies in their pockets and, the shirt, the clothes on their back, and they make it. Well,
Wow.
why not have us make it so we can help others make it? And it's possible when you've got the right knowledge and you use it correctly.
I love it. That is so inspiring. So inspiring. Now, okay. Do you mind if I ask, what was the first real estate deal you participated in?
Short sales.
Short sales.
Helping others, because we had found
Okay.
ourselves in an upside down situation.
Really?
And we found in 2008,
Okay.
and we realized that it was an investor that came in at the last minute and saved us from a sheriff's sale. We thought there's got to be other options out there.
Okay.
And even though we had been introduced to real estate education before that, we just really hadn't applied it. So that's why it's not good enough to just get knowledge. You have to apply it.
Right.
And for whatever reasons, all they are is excuses, because you either have excuses or you have results. We hadn't applied it. And so here we were, upside down. A realtor came in, a real estate investor came in and saved the day. Well, we wanted to get educated too. So that's when we really took this education and really started to go for it.
Right.
And because we found out that there are 7 different options to foreclosure.
Really?
And the banks and the mortgage companies aren't going to tell you what those options are.
Right.
So that was fun, because now we were in a position to help others out of
Okay.
what we had found ourselves in.
Right.
And then we present the different options, and then you can choose the one that works best for you. And sometimes just starting fresh is the best way to do.
Yeah.
But a short sale is better than a foreclosure,
Okay.
especially in today's credit climate.
Okay.
It's starting to loosen up a little bit. But you don't want to have that mark on you and not be able to, and have to rent for the next
sure.
10 years. You just don't want to do that.
For sure.
You don't need to.
For those who may be watching this video or listening to this and don't really know, can you describe what a foreclosure is and also what a short sale is?
So foreclosure, typically what happens is your bank will give you a note, send you a notice when you're 90 days late, and then there's amount of time. There's a lot of technical stuff, but basically your house goes into foreclosure when the bank takes it at auction,
Okay.
right? You're behind so far that the bank says we're going to have to foreclose on your property, and it goes to a sheriff's auction. And if nobody buys it or at that sheriff's auction, then it goes back to the bank. And your home, and you have been foreclosed on.
Okay.
Short sale is a process in which a lender will agree to allow a property to be sold for less than is owed.
Okay.
So, as we are out meeting with people and find that they're in a distressed situation, we work with them and get their permission to negotiate with the lender on their behalf a short sale. And so there's paperwork. again, that's another podcast.
Right.
But
Right.
there's a process that goes through. They're not short. We've had one go as much as 12, 14 months.
Year and a half.
So
Oh my
year and a
goodness.
half. And it's just going back and forth negotiating with the lender until, the lender feels that they're getting the most from me or from you as the investor
Right.
that they can possibly get.
Like any negotiation.
Yes.
That makes
And
sense.
so then in that scenario, the short sale, the bank or the lender will agree to sell it to you less than what's owed.
Okay.
We pick up the property then, and we can, depending on its condition, we can just turn around and rent it outright or sell it, or we can put some cost into it and fix it up, bring it up to a marketable condition, and then sell it.
Right.
We disclose with the lender, not with the lender, with the homeowner that we're working with that, we're doing this because this is how we make our income.
Right.
So they see most of the numbers, so they understand how we're benefiting, but more importantly, how they benefit. And they benefit by not having a foreclosure on their market. If we're able to do a short sale, it'll show on their credit, but it's not that bad really. But now, because that payment has gone away, they're able to work on getting their credit reestablished, cleaning it back up. 90-day lates, that hits you pretty good.
Right.
And so it takes a period of time to get your credit cleaned up so that that's not an issue. But they can, different reasons people go into get behind on their mortgage.
Yeah.
Most, when our situation was, I was unemployed for an extended period of time.
Oh.
Didn't have the funds and, weren't doing the activities needed to generate income consistently. And, somebody now today that's behind, has great income, but they're not in a position to bring that mortgage current.
Okay.
Their options are limited. Another strategy that we're using now is called subject to.
Okay.
And that's where we basically negotiate with the homeowner. We can bring your arrears current, and in exchange, we'll take the deed or title to your home. Mortgage will still stay in your name. We'll bring it current and continue to make the payments monthly.
Okay.
And of course, there's paperwork in place that protects them, so everyone is protected. And in that process, we can help. We can do a little bit more for them.
Okay.
With short sale, there's not a whole lot we can do but to negotiate. Subject to, they're able to access a little bit of the potential equity that's there, help them move, get reestablished. But primarily, there's no foreclosure.
Okay.
Right. So that all they have is lates, and then because we're making the payments, their credit's going to improve.
Really?
Because those payments are being made consistently. So it's just another way of getting a fresh start.
So who can go into and do a subject to type of thing?
Anyone that knows what they're doing. And there are things you have to be careful, because processes and things you have to do. If you don't, then you're in violation of the law.
Okay. Do you mind if I ask?
And that's
an
why
example of those?
education is so important. Right? I can't make any promises or guarantees.
For sure. No.
For one, if we don't have the right paperwork in place as the investor,
Okay.
There's nothing that prevents the homeowner, the one who holds the mortgage, from taking the house back. So there's some documents that are shared between both parties, where they're transferring title or ownership of the property to us, and the mortgage stays in their name. But if you don't do that correctly, if I don't do it correctly, I have no claim to the property.
Oh, that makes sense.
Right?
That makes sense.
And if we don't put all the correct pieces in place, down the road, there isn't any reason why the homeowner, or even myself or another investor, can say, hey, this is mine, because without the documents in place to protect both parties, you're going to end up in a mess. And I hear arguments all the time, well, just go online and go to the library.
Right.
Well, they're great resources.
For sure.
But if you go to the library and read somebody's book from 1978 on short sales or even subject twos, is that relevant today? Laws change every year.
Right.
Laws are different from state to state.
And how do you guys keep abreast of the current laws?
I don't. My accountant does.
That works.
My attorney does.
That works.
The guy that I learn about fix and flips does.
Okay.
And we have aligned ourselves with a real estate education.
Mm-hmm.
We consider them to be the leading online real estate education, real estate investor education company in the country. And its name is Renatus, and they're based in Centerville, Utah.
Awesome.
And they make sure that we stay current with all the changes and the things to make sure that we stay legal, because we believe in being legal in everything that we do. We're not here to take shortcuts. We're here to make things right, put people in a better place than where they were.
With the recent tax hoopla, right?
Hoopla, what a word.
Mark Kohler, he teaches Renatus tax and legal. He came back and recorded and updated the curriculum that he presents based on those changes. Okay, and some of the accounting, he redid some of the accounting. We have other instructors, Chris Wilson, who teaches about fix and flips. He came in and updated his this year because of some of the changes and how some of the tax things affect him and his business. And so they're always, Renatus is always aware, keeping abreast of changes and working with their instructors to make sure that the information that's being presented online is the most accurate at any given time. It's something that you can have confidence and trust in, that they're doing their part to be protected. Of course, you still have to go out and find your attorneys and your accountants and your professionals, right? Because what works in one state may not be legal or work in another state.
Right.
And so,
Carl brings out a good point. You asked me earlier about what to look for, and I said don't go to these seminars that come in on the weekend.
Right.
Well, another thing, you want to learn from people who are doing it.
That's true.
Not people who have done it and done well years ago.
Mm-hmm.
People who are currently doing it. In order to be an educator or a teacher in the Renatus system, you have to have made at least $1 million, and you have to be currently practicing.
Oh wow.
So you're dealing with people who are in the trenches, who have done well, that you can follow, because there are no shortcuts. But you can find somebody who is doing what you want to do and align yourselves with them and just do what they do. And that is a shortcut, because you're not having to you get through a lot of the minutia, and you're able to focus on what's important. And banks don't want to be in the real estate business.
Really?
They're in the money lending, Benny. And so they need to turn their money over fast. And the reason they will do, to go back and just add a little bit to what Carl's expertly explained about short sales.
Okay.
The reason a bank will take a short position and take less money from what is owed is that for every dollar they have out, they've got to have $7 to $10 off to the side, earning no interest.
Just sitting
there. So because that money's, so they're not able to loan that money, then they've got all this money that's not producing.
Okay.
So it's like times two. So it's better for them to take a short position and say, okay, I'll sell it for less than what we owe, because now they can get those dollars and these dollars back into circulation, which is why they're in business.
Oh, cool. That makes so much sense. I think a lot of people just kind of, they take the banks as like these giant monsters that, don't talk to people and they just don't want to listen to what you have to say, but they don't really learn what they're all about, which is, like you said, money lending.
They focus on that, and we focus on 30 doors.
Right.
You focus, and we've decided what strategy. There's a lot of strategies to use.
Okay.
But you focus, and then when you do that, and you follow the right people, and then you get it done in the weight room, as my boys would say.
In the weight room. That's awesome.
Go get it done in the weight room, Mom, Dad.
I like it. So if I can ask, how did you guys first get in contact with this education?
A friend told us.
Said, you guys got to come check this out. And we did. And
we met Bob.
We met Bob Schneider, President and CEO of Renatus.
Okay.
And it was exactly what we were looking for. So why not?
When you know what you're looking for,
Right.
you know, when the students prepared, you know, the teacher appears.
Right.
So we knew, and by getting clarity brings power. And so we got clear about what we wanted, we found it, and it's just a matter of action.
That makes sense. Can you guys describe Bob Snyder for me, please? Just your first interaction with him, or any specific thing that you remember interacting with him.
Genuine.
Okay.
Generous. Bob Snyder is a genius. A genuine genius.
Okay.
That he's all about abundance, and he's all about making sure it's right for everybody. Everybody wins. Everybody wins. And they win to the point where they feel abundance. They've been abundantly blessed.
I see.
Or abundantly given to, whether it's knowledge or time or resources. It's an incredible, he is an incredible individual.
I feel very fortunate to know him.
Really?
To have his number on my cell phone.
Wow.
He knows our names. He's good.
We've had lunch.
Really?
He's everything he appears to be.
Wow.
There's no facade.
That's rare when it comes to CEOs, I believe.
It's rare with people who have lots of zeros behind their names.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's done 2,500 real estate deals.
Wow.
Just a few.
Just you know.
He's made not only $1 million in a year, he's made $1 million in a month, he's made $1 million in a week, and he's made $1 million in a day.
Jeez. Wow. That is amazing.
And he's the same as he was when he was making $1,000.
Right. That is so cool.
And he's built himself, and as a result, then he just shares.
Okay. That's awesome. Now, would you guys, so you said your friend said, hey, you should come down and see this. Can you, just tell the story of your first time going down to a Renatus event? You know, if it was of note, or if it was just like any other.
We went to our first Renatus event. There was probably 10, 20 of us in a room when Renatus was introduced.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
In Salt Lake.
With Dr. Ruth?
No.
Is that when you're thinking?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
And it was just south of where we currently meet.
Okay.
Okay.
There was not a full room in Salt Lake. It was not a full room, and now we have over 400 or 500 people.
Okay.
In the Salt Lake area.
Wow.
That we network with weekly. We're in study groups weekly together. There's 3-4 events each week of things that we could go to learn from, to participate in, to share.
And to anticipate your question, no, there's abundance. There's plenty for all of us to do.
Wow.
Because we're all going after something different.
Sure.
And there's plenty. We teach 7 different strategies, and there are numerous ways, as many ways to approach those strategies as there are the people. It's wonderful.
Wow.
To have that kind of community, because because it comes right from the top. It comes from Bob.
Okay.
Because of how he operates. Then we all share with who knows a new good contractor over here?
Right.
Does someone have a good inspector over here? Hey, what about this? Hey, round across this, or they're sharing this. Hey, I just got a great HELOC over here at this bank at this price. And
wow.
So it's spreading the business, and that's good for all the businesses along the Wasatch Front here, because plumbers are busy, contractors are busy, framers are busy, banks are busy, credit unions are busy, and it's because of the wealth of this real estate community.
That's so amazing. What made you guys want to purchase the education after you saw it and you're like, oh, okay? What kind of sealed the deal and was like, yeah, I'm in?
We had no retirement.
Okay.
And we needed a way to do a retirement, and we saw that this was our way of doing it. And we'd be helping people because that's what we like to do.
Right.
We would be making good amounts of money. It would be worth the time. It was something that we had to do full time.
Okay.
We could do it part time, and we could still have time with our family. We could have time for life, and we liked that aspect of it. And it made a good. And you were solving problems because really, we're not real estate investors.
Right.
It was exactly
We're problem solvers.
It was exactly what we were looking for. Education. We felt that as we reviewed it that it was education that was timely, and it was delivered in a style that worked for us. We could sit in our living room, connect to the internet, and take all the classes online. They're delivered 24/7 online.
Right.
I don't have to travel anywhere. I don't have to go to Salt Lake Monday or Thursday, Friday, and Saturday
Okay.
to be upsold. When we got started, I believe there was about 21, 22 classes.
Okay.
We paid, what they were asking, and now there's over 57
Wow.
classes.
And guess
we've
how
never-
much?
We've never been asked to pay any more for that additional.
Wow.
And they're updated every year.
They're updated,
Yeah.
Most of them are updated every year or at a regular
timely
interval,
fashion.
timely fashion,
Right.
based on the subject matter. And so, why not?
And then if you
It's an investment in me,
Right.
in my family,
Right.
in our future. And one deal covers the cost. So why not?
Right.
And if you say you don't have the money, you're just not talking to the right people. You're not asking the right questions. The money is out there. I can show you how to find it. And if I
So
can
you're-
find you the money, I take away your excuse, don't I?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's just get on board here. Let's
say you-
find the money and get going.
Right.
Because you can come and you can play with us, or you can sit and watch, and in 3 years say, "Gosh, why have I missed out?"
Right.
as one of our colleagues says, how long do you want to keep saying that? I don't have the money. How long do you want to be saying that?
Right.
Because there's no need. But you do have to make changes. You have to invest in yourself, get educated. And that's another thing I like, the way it's online.
Uh-huh.
So if I don't get that concept, what did he just say? And you back it up
Right.
and you'll listen to it again as many times as you need to get it through and understand it so
Yeah.
that you can articulate it and be able to then develop a plan of action and carry forward. So it's the best way, and it comes not only with audio files, so in MP3 files, so you can put it on your phone,
Right.
and you can be listening to those things because you and you hear them over and over, and then it becomes familiar because you've got a whole new language to learn,
Definitely.
and you've got lots of concepts. Some of them have lots of numbers,
Definitely.
and you've got some legal things to understand. But the more times you hear it, you just become familiar with it, and then it becomes your walk and your talk, and you accomplish.
It's a lifetime.
And it's for
You pay
lifetime.
once, and it's for lifetime. Lifetime education. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. How much are you paying to go to school right now? I know what I paid. Are they gonna let me keep coming back and come? No.
And
Bob Snyder's a genius.
and you get to take your best friend with you, or a partner.
Right.
How many universities or how many college courses allow you to bring somebody for free?
0, let me
You
tell
know.
you.
So this is a buy one get one free.
That's nice.
Yeah.
That is nice.
So see, abundance, generous. See,
I love that. I love that word.
because he
abundance.
knows that if you will do it with someone, you're more likely to do it,
Right.
and you'll stay doing it.
Yeah.
Because being social satisfies a need in us, and we just are better.
I agree that I think there's a fundamental human need to feel connected
Mm-hmm.
to something and someone,
Mm-hmm.
and what a wonderful thing.
That's why this community works, why this real estate, why people are doing real estate.
Yeah.
You can come anytime and we can point out they're doing a deal. In fact, Saturday we just went, young 23-year-old, he came in when he was 19,
Wow.
and now he's 23, and he just bought a home. He's going to make a $49 profit, $49,000 profit on this deal. But actually, that's because he's been very conservative, and he's got his holding costs for 6 months.
Wow.
And they'll have the property done in 60 days. And because of our market right now at this time, April of 2018, he'll have that property gone in a couple weeks at the most. It'll probably be the day that he opens it that it'll go, because he's able to sell it with some equity.
For sure.
He doesn't have to sell it at the top of the market, and he sells it with some equity. And who doesn't like a deal? We all like a sale.
For sure.
So he'll sell it, and I predict that he actually will make $100,000 profit.
Wow.
23.
That is not too shabby, let me tell you. As a 23, I'm a 24-year-old, so.
And in June,
relate.
he's hoping to close on a 48-unit complex.
Wow.
$2.3 million.
Wow.
And none of his own money, none of his own credit. That's what we teach you.
That's amazing.
Because that's what rich people do. They leverage.
Yeah.
They leverage the currencies, and money is the last on the currency. Knowledge is the first currency. You got knowledge, and you've got relationships. You know, those are the most two important.
Right.
You got your time and money. There's one more. It will come to me.
Credit, maybe?
Credit, yes. That's it. Not credit. That is what it is. So it goes in this order: knowledge, relationships, time, credit, and money.
Wow. That's super, super deep. And I think that knowing that could change so many people's lives if they just taught that in high school or kindergarten or something. That would be amazing. I want to rewind a little bit. Stacey, you said that when you do learn this, you do have to make some changes in your life in order to. And I hope this isn't too personal a question, but what were some of the changes that you and Carl had to make or are making to better direct yourselves towards those goals you want to reach?
Oh, we're making health changes, believe it or not.
Really?
And in fact, just this week we were doing some exercise, but it was spotty.
Okay.
Now we've included the whole family. We're at the gym at 6 in the morning or before. And it is making such a huge difference. And we also changed our diet so we can have the energy that we need to keep up with what we want to accomplish, because we have a short time before we want to have these 30 doors paid for. And, you know, we've got an Airbnb over in Hawaii, and we want to be able to, we have to get that first. So let me mislead you. We want to get, so that we could go over once a quarter. You know, we love Hawaii. It was a great culture to marry into, this Hawaiian culture. And we love being over there, and we've started a team over there, teaching people how to do real estate over there.
Sorry, I just saw a friend in the background. I have many friends here. That is so cool. Health.
So that's probably the biggest change, and those see the lifestyle, because you're hanging around with people who are expecting excellence from their life. Expecting excellence. And excellence is a habit. So this habit of learning and putting good stuff in our head is helping us to output more good stuff. We have more to give. Which means we have more to. We can serve more people, and that pays us back internally. Right. And that's what we're here. I believe. We believe that that's what we're here on earth to do.
Yeah. Wow. It's not about me.
It's not about me.
It's about what I can do for others.
It's about the people. This is a people business. It's a people problem-solving business, and you spread it around. Everyone benefits.
That is so inspiring. I love that. I just love that so much. Okay, so what kind of advice would you give to someone who's just newly starting out, wanting to get into real estate? What 1, 2, or 3 tips would you say? If you don't do anything else, do this.
Get hold of Justin. I'm serious.
Oh, really?
Get hold of Justin and have him get you the information you need.
Oh, thank you.
To go to make a decision to see if this is right for you or not.
Right.
And he's going to get you to understand the EPIC. That's education, properties, income, and community. And we have the 5 pillars. And he's going to give you that information, and then he's going to help you follow through to see how you can do that, how you can pay for it, and it can even be free. He's going to be able to show you. And you need to go to a real deal tour if you live in an area where they have real deal tours. And then once you've gone to those 3 events, then you'll have all the information that you know. And really, Renatus is the best education in the world. And we're not shy about that.
Everybody needs Renatus.
Everybody does, because everybody has to have a place to live.
Right.
Don't you want to buy your home on sale?
Right, yeah.
Or have the home of your dreams, or both.
Yeah.
It's not just about real estate investing. It's about personal development. It's about understanding and finding out who you really are, what moves you, motivates you.
Mm-hmm.
The experiences that I've had with Renatus since we've been involved have done all that for me.
Okay.
Now, as a computer guy, I like to sit off in the corner, the lights out, and just throw some food at me every once in a while. You know, I'm just over there. I'm quite content. But for me to be in the front of a room,
Mm-hmm.
that was not something I envisioned myself ever doing. I can do that now.
Wow.
I walk up to people that I don't know, and I engage them in conversation about them, and find out what's going on in their lives. It's
Really, this is a bold, audacious statement, but we're doing you a favor. We're doing you a favor by introducing you to Renatus and what it can do. It will blow open your brain. It will expand, and your brain will never be able to go back to where it was again. That's
It's a
another
good
change.
problem, though, right?
That's a great problem. And it's like, you don't say, how am I going to do it? It's not, oh, I can't do that.
Right.
That's a swear word, can't.
Yeah.
And you just say, how am I going to do this? I just believe that people who are introduced to Renatus, that's not a coincidence. They just have to decide if they're going to do it. And really, when it comes right down to, people don't. I find that it's not because they don't believe that this could be done. They don't believe they can do it. And that's where that's the wonder of it. Just come in and get involved. We'll show you how you can do that. We'll help you believe in you. And by believing in you, you make everything come true.
Wow.
You have that goal, and then you write that goal down, and then you put that goal into steps, and then you know what action to take. And by taking the correct actions, you get the correct results. And that's all Bob has taught us.
Right.
You take correct action, you get correct results. And it came because you had a goal here that you wanted, and you just followed along. So just come hook arms with us.
Okay.
Hook arms with Justin. You know, let him show you how to do this. He knows.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I got a couple more questions if you guys are okay with it. The first question is, these two questions kind of tie together. So let's say someone purchases Renatus, gets the full package. What practical steps would you recommend to them with watching the education, as far as which things to watch and which things to try and implement, and also if they decide to become a marketer, what things would they do to start their marketing off correctly?
okay. Yeah. As you're doing your due diligence, as you're investigating and looking into Renatus, in our area, and I can only address I'm not what everybody else is doing in their areas, but in our area, in one of the presentations, we go into a 90-day plan. This 90-day plan is what the gentleman in the front of the room, his experience was. There are many whose experience was similar, and so it is realistic for some, not everyone, to get into the education, view it online, and get things going, and within that 90-day period, put their first deal under contract.
Okay.
Now that's not a guarantee.
No.
That's just what some have done. Others, I was listening to a webinar this morning that our team does, and there was one guy that's been 3 years, and he hasn't done a deal. And as they talked through that, I thought I was shy. I thought I was quiet. And that's all it is. So now we helped him identify what was preventing him from getting to the deal. It wasn't the education, it wasn't the community, it was all him and some of the things that he needs to learn to overcome. Fortunately for him, there are many within the community who have struggled with and overcome those very same issues that now, we can just reach out to him and put our arms around him, so to speak, say, hey, we're here for you. We've been there. This is how we got through it. Let's get going.
Wow.
And again, lock arms and go forward. So we have there is a 90-day plan, recommended plan. Results will vary. It's all dependent on the individual.
Yeah.
That's the main thing to understand is, you, right? Don't compare yourself to anybody else. Compare yourself to you. What are you capable of? And then go for it. I don't know if that answered your question.
You've got people here that believe in you. So if we were just to quickly break it down, the 90 days, the first 30 days, you listen to the essential classes. There are 9 of them. The second 30-day period, you build your team, you get people on board, and then the last 30 days, you go out there and you make offers.
You do it.
You just do it.
Wow.
And we teach you how to make those offers so that you don't get yourself into trouble.
For sure.
You've got people who are holding your hands. So
we have study groups every week here in our community locally. Wow. And we refer to as an essential study group and an AIT study group. And the essentials, that's the foundational stuff, right? And then the AIT, once you've completed the essentials and you're in the AIT, that's where we're analyzing deals, we're reviewing offers, we're teaching you in more detail how to complete the documents properly. You're networking. Right? And so do the due diligence. Come to the meetings. Come to a introductory meeting. Come to a real deal tour. Come to a follow-up. In those meetings, you're going to get enough information to decide if this is what you're looking for, this is what you want to be about doing. And if it is, then jump in, all in.
Okay.
Don't dabble your toes. Jump all in. There is a community here to support you.
Okay.
We're eager to welcome you in and work with you.
And don't drag your tail. Don't put off this decision. Don't say, okay, well, I've got to find this out. And you will know here if it's right. Perhaps many of you have read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And in there he tells a story about when he first met Andrew Carnegie. And Andrew Carnegie was interviewing him, and he said, I will introduce you to all these people, the magnates, the Rockefellers, all the rich people of that time, and Thomas Edison, all the people who were making things happen. And he was to write a book about success based on all of these interviews. And he was a writer. Napoleon Hill just graduated. He didn't have a penny. He was looking for, and so Andrew Carnegie, one of the richest men in the world, and then Andrew said, I won't be paying you. You'll have to do this I'll make the introductions to you, and then the rest is up to you. And he thought, gosh, and how can I do this? And he was going through all that, and what am I? Is this for me? I want to be a writer. I want to be introduced to all these people who are making it happen, but I'm not going to get paid. How is that going to work for me? And as it happens, he decided yes. We know the rest of the story because we've got the books in the libraries and all over. We've read many. We've benefited from that information. In fact, that's Bob Snyder's #1 book, is Think and Grow Rich. And lo and behold, the rest of the story, as Paul Harvey would say, for those of you who are old enough out there, underneath the desk, Andrew Carnegie had a stopwatch. And he was only going to let a minute go by for Napoleon to make this decision. If he took longer than a minute to make this decision, he wouldn't offer. He'd take the offer off the table.
Wow.
So he was able to make that decision, Napoleon was, because he knew what he wanted. So if you're taking a long time to make this decision on whether Renatus is good for you or not, will help you get where, it's because you don't know what you want. You're not clear about where you're headed. So get clear about where you want it. And if you actually, by coming to and hanging out with us, you'll be able to get clear, because we're clear about where we're headed and what we want. So that, and when you hang out with people that got the results that you want, guess what? You get those same results. So hang out. If you're not able to make the decision quick, within 60 seconds, and if money's an issue, that's not an issue. You just need to come, and we'll show you how. Because really, where there's a will, there is a way, and we'll show you many.
Thank you. That was awesome. All right, so we're closing up now. Let me just ask you a couple more questions. If both of you could recommend one book to read, what would you recommend?
Go ahead.
I think there's so many, but you want to blow your mind up. You've got to know, you've got to be able to get this burning desire inside of you. So I think I would recommend Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And you asked another question about marketing.
Oh, yes.
You're silly not to want to do the marketing, because the marketing is like leaving money on the table, and that helps fund your real estate investments, and you're helping that person get their dreams and help them move forward in knowledge. You're doing them a favor. We're doing you a favor by helping you understand this, and Justin's going to be doing you a favor, and you'll be doing others a favor by sharing this information, because it only blesses lives. It's a huge gift.
Thank you.
The one thing
Helps
you get clarity, helps you get focus.
Which you guys obviously have.
That's funny, because that's what I was going to say too.
It wasn't either. You said what you were going to say.
Well, that was the one I was toddling between.
Last question, I guess, is if people wanted to connect with you and learn more about what you guys are doing, where would they be able to find you and connect with you and ask you guys questions?
I guess just our email address.
Yeah.
And if you guys don't want to put this up, we don't have to.
That's fine.
Oh, that's fine.
It's ohanapropertyvestors@gmail.com.
Okay.
Not investors.
Spell it out.
Ohana is Hawaiian for family. OHANA property vestors VESTORS @gmail.com.
Perfect. Hopefully you guys can get some good contacts out of this. But again, thank you so much for taking your time out of your busy schedules to be with me and have this conversation. I know for me it was very helpful and very motivational, and I can only hope that for those listening or watching, it was equally so. So thank you very much.
Our
Thanks,
pleasure.
Justin.
Thank you.